Hello, readers. This one is One of Us is Dead, and it's the 21st book in the Roy Grace series by Peter James. When James Taylor was in school, he and his two best friends were known as the Three Musketeers because they were inseparable. But as they grew up, they also grew apart. As the novel opens, James is at Barney's funeral thinking that his friend didn't turn out so well, and he's really only attending for old time's sake, when he sees Rufus 6 rows in front of him, which can't be right because he attended Rufus's funeral 2 years ago. Such a good little twist. I love that opening premise. This book also has a subplot, or maybe, more accurately, maybe like a plot thread about a woman called Shannon who works for a shady company trawling the dark web for different clients when she meets a new man. Both of them have secrets. She was raped by a professor and she never told anyone, and he makes and deals 3D printed firearms. As they grow closer, she ends up working for him, and over dinner one night, she reveals her secret. He asks, "What if a little accident happened to that professor and nothing could be traced back to you?" And she says she could live with that. So these are some great opening sort of ideas in this book. Suspenseful novel, very curious setup. These kinds of kind of intriguing opening situations with sort of a hook that hook you in. It's a thing that the Roy Grace series are sort of known for and all about. And that central premise leads down a winding rabbit hole of plot in these stories. So as I said, this is the 21st book in the series, and I've covered a few of them on this blog now. I don't read every single one, but I do really enjoy when I do get my hands on them. This is not a series that you have to read in order, so you can just dive in where you feel like it, or you can read them in order if you want to. And there's also a TV series based on this series as well. So this book loosely has 3 main threads that we follow: James Taylor and his figuring out if Rufus was really at the funeral, Shannon and her mysterious man and how he fits into all of this, and Roy Grace and his team investigating. We have themes of modern technology like dark web, blockchains, 3D printing, and it also has other popular recent interests like foraging for mushrooms and being an influencer, which plays into the story. I think this is handled well. If things like this aren't handled well, and often they're not in books, they can be so cringy. It's like when somebody sort of older tries to use much younger language from a younger generation, and you're just it just feels try-hardy when people don't really understand sometimes how a technology works, but the reader does, and it's can feel a bit much. Here, I think it's not overused. It's kind of threaded in neatly. And so I think it's a really good choice here because it keeps this series sort of up to date with the kinds of maybe crimes or, things that are kind of happening or are of interest to people at the moment. So I think that's good. And I think it's not sort of overused to the point where you're I don't know. I've read a couple of books where somebody just didn't understand what the dark web was, or what you would find on there, or didn't really understand a technology but was trying to use it in a book, and it just ruined the story for me. So I'm glad that this book sort of walked that tightrope, as it were. So something that is a little more awkward, shall we say, are the dad jokes kind of peppered in. They're not good jokes. They're just sort of vaguely punny, like saying the DC is a dog lover, so throw me a bone. It's kind of cheesy. And I mean, I was thinking maybe they land with the target audience, if that target audience is maybe a little bit of an older demographic, maybe. There's also little quotes dropped into the dialogue, which I don't hate, but it feels a little bit unnatural. People don't speak in quotes at each other in real life. So I think both of these things are just part of the style of the author. And I guess they do make his writing style more unique to him, which perhaps, that means this is maybe just more of an observation than a real criticism, if that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes the author you know you're reading a Peter James book. Yeah, these books are always enjoyable. They set out with that premise that hooks you in, as I mentioned above, and it makes you wonder what's going on. And then the pace and the twists are there to keep you turning pages. They're nice, chunky reads, but they're also quite fast reads as well. Considering how thick the books are, you would get through them really quickly. And I kind of love that. The chunkiness, but also that they're fast. You have characters that you know and see a little more of their lives in each book. I love that. And then you have sympathetic or highly suspicious characters, and then their stories are really compelling too. The books as a series are very much thriller, genre fiction in style, but I feel like this series has enough unique qualities that make them stand out amongst a lot of series that come out in this genre, this kind of police procedural thriller mystery kind of genre. I'm always happy to spend time with Roy Grace and his team again, and I liked how fast-paced and twisting this one was. In this particular story, I think this is kind of true of the series as a whole a little bit anyway, but here it's not so much that we're trying to guess the whole mystery here. There's more elements of like, well, what's really going on? And there's a game of cat and mouse of like, is this person going to get away with it? And Roy Grace sort of getting closer and other characters getting some of the answer. And it's sort of, well, are they going to get this guy, or is he going to get away this time? Is this case going to slip through Grace's fingers? And I mean, you'll have to read to find out, but I think that's really well done and makes for such a fun, interesting thriller read, in my opinion. So I really enjoyed this book. This one is for you if you are a fan of the series. You're going to be happy and enjoy this one. Newcomers, if you're looking for a UK set mystery thriller type read, this is very entertaining. I think you'll like it. Yeah, it's another great twisting read from Peter James. And thank you to PGC Books for the copy of this book for review. Now, if you've read this book or haven't read it or have read any in the series, I would love to chat to you in the comments. So hopefully I will talk to you there, and happy reading. You can check out some of my other videos. I also have another channel and socials, so you can find links below if you want more of that. And if you want to hang out again, remember to like and subscribe. And you can always leave a comment, let me know what you thought, or let me know what else you might want to see. Thank you.